Hello, my name's Brandon from BrickiPhi. I spoke to Cindy, one of the receptionists, on the phone the other day, and I just wanted to take a moment to send this video over to you. I think I could add some value to y'all. As I was doing some research on home inspection in Humble, Texas, I came across a couple things that I think would be helpful to you. So anyway, what I typically try to do is see what kind of value I can add. My goal is to help kind of boost businesses' online presence so that they can connect with more customers. One of the things that I realized in my research is there's actually hundreds of searches for home inspectors in all of the surrounding areas of Houston. I want to show you just a little bit of what I mean by that. So, for example, I kind of started with Humble, Texas as my jumping off point. Home Inspector Humble, Texas gets 150 searches a month, and it has a keyword difficulty of 0. And what that basically means is if you were to implement this keyword phrase into the content of your website, it should rank very quickly because it's not a difficult phrase to rank for, which means that you could start to climb the Google rankings and be on the top of the Google My Business charts and organically ranking higher, so that you'll be in the presence of more customers that are in that 150 searches, And so that's the first thing I noticed. And then I started realizing that, obviously Houston's a big area with a lot of surrounding cities and towns. And, there are hundreds and hundreds more searches happening in the area that are all pretty much within driving distance. So just to start off here, you can see that Houston, Texas has 150 searches a month as well, but the keyword difficulty is much higher. So just for perspective, what that basically means is it would be more difficult to climb the charts of Google for Home Inspector Houston. It just takes a little longer to climb the charts there. But in all of the surrounding towns, or a lot of them, you could rank very high very quickly. So like Tomball has a keyword difficulty of 1, and then you've got Missouri City, Sugarland, Katy, Spring, Magnolia. All of these are getting 100 plus searches every single month, and the keyword difficulty is pretty low. So you would be able to capitalize on that if you just had the right strategy for implementing the right keywords into your content. And so that's one thing that I help businesses with to do. Now, I know y'all are a bigger company, but I'm looking specifically in the Houston area and thought this could add some value to you. And then the next thing is the citation count. That's another aspect that Google is paying attention to when they're looking at where a business should be ranked. So the citation count is basically your business information, name, address, phone number, etc., as it appears in Google. And so I use a tool called Whitespark to see that. Y'all are actually beating a lot of the competition with that as far as that goes. And so it's just going to end up being some of these other factors that are causing you to not rank as high. And so where are y'all ranking? I guess I should unpack that a little bit. So when I did my initial search for Home Inspector in Humble, Texas, I found y'all down at like number 28 on the list, which is on page 2 of the Google Maps, And so for anyone to be able to find you, they're going to have to go into the top. They're going to have to go Google Home Inspector Humble, Texas, and then click more businesses, and then scroll all the way down, and then hit page 2, and then scroll down on that one until they find you. And most people just statistically are going to stick with what is showing up in that top 3. And so what I do is help businesses get into the top 3 of wherever they're trying to rank. That's kind of the value add that I try to offer. And so I also wanted to see where y'all were ranking in Houston. And when I found y'all in the Houston area, it was actually on page 4 of the Google My Business page in the Maps pack. So, if y'all want to be able to rank higher, then there's some things that I could help you with to be able to get you ranking higher and tapping into all of these hundreds of searches that are happening every month. I know that home inspection can be kind of a word of mouth business, and if you have the right connections with real estate agents and stuff like that, that can go a long way. But I know as being a Texan, there are a lot of people moving in from all other states. And so when they get here, they might not have the connections with real estate agents or friends that know a home inspector that they use and stuff like that. So if you're able to rank higher, then you'll be able to connect with all of those people that are moving in and putting in that search volume for you. For home inspectors in the area. And so the last thing that I look at is backlinks. Backlinks is essentially when someone clicks on your site or clicks on another site and then there's a link that directs them to your site. That's what a backlink is. And so I pulled up some information and just kind of looking at the tools out there. I use a tool called Ahrefs. That's Ahrefs if you wanted to use that on your own. When I pull that up for y'all's company, you can see that y'all have 46 backlinks. You're utilizing 124 keywords, which is really good. So it's probably just a matter of identifying the right keywords and structuring your website in such a way that you're able to tap into the search volume in the Houston area. So y'all have 46 backlinks. If we look at the number 1 position, then you'll see that they have 62,000 backlinks. So that's the company that's sitting at rank number 1. Now that's like their full company. If you break it down into their one that's like just for the Houston area, then there's not as much information. But if we look at the number 3 spot, they have 44 backlinks. So really y'all should be beating this top. You should be in the top 3 for the Humble area. So what it comes down to is combining all of those factors that I've talked about here, and hopefully y'all can do that. And I would love to help y'all if you'd like, but it's essentially 3 things: the keywords and content, and structuring it in the right way of your website so that Google knows that you should be ranking in all of the specific locations in the Houston area that you want to rank for, which I would suggest all of those surrounding towns and cities around Houston that have low keyword difficulty but high search volume. And then citations, y'all are doing pretty well on the citations. You can always add more citations, but y'all are sitting pretty well in that area. And then backlinks, just add it. Backlinks is something that you kind of consistently add over time so that you can outrank and outperform other businesses. So, and then your Google My Business page itself, you can go in and optimize that, make sure you're getting the keywords into the content of the Google My Business page and saving those keywords with the photos that you're adding. And so there's some things there that you can do. Anyway, I hope this adds some value to you. I would love to help y'all more. Like I said, I spoke with Cindy on the phone, so I'm not sure who will ultimately get this video, but please feel free to reach back out. I'd love to continue a conversation and get to know y'all a little bit more and see what I can do to help. So y'all have a great night. Blessings.